So the first screen here is going to be your devices. So on the left-hand side here, you'll notice that you have a bunch of different sections. So devices is where you're going to add in each light for your room. So typically this is going to be 3 lights that you purchased, and each light is going to have its own sort of Insteon box that you also purchase. So it's those rectangular white boxes. So if you've plugged in your lights already, you've plugged the light into the Insteon box and the Insteon box into the outlet. If you've done that already, you're going to need to access those Insteon boxes. And on the back of the box, there's going to be an Insteon identifier code. It's going to be 6 letters and numbers, and it's going to be in the format of xx.xx.xx. So you're going to want to retrieve those for each of the modules that you have. So each of those Insteon boxes, you want to gonna grab those. If you haven't installed the lights yet, just go ahead and open up your Insteon boxes and just get the codes off of the back of the box that way. So once you have those codes, within devices, if there's anything that's listed there, so anything extra, you can just select all of them and then hit delete, and that will delete those devices out of there. So you want to start sort of blank. And what you're going to do is go up to where it says new, and this will let you add a new device. So from this list, you're going to want to go down to Insteon, and you're going to want to make sure that your Insteon boxes are plugged into outlets. So you want to set up your lights now, and then from here you'll be able to test whether those lights are actually working with the Insteon boxes. So this screen will allow you to input a code that you grabbed from before. So in order to demonstrate this, go ahead and delete that. I'm going to delete my key light so you can see what this looks like. So basically I'm going to go to new. Within this type list, I'm going to select Insteon, and here's where you can enter the Insteon code you got off the back of the box, so the actual module itself. So for my key light, I'm going to enter 19, and then 7C, and then C3. So this is not going to be your own code, this is the specific box, but I'm going to enter that, and I've sort of determined which one's my key light, which one's my fill light and backlight beforehand. So depending on where the lights are placed in the room, this is just going by the 3-point lighting structure. So a main light, a fill light, and then a backlight. So this is going to be my main key light. So I'm going to click start there. So once you have your code entered and you click start, it's going to run through to add this device into the database. So you can see here, it's just sort of spinning in a circle, waiting for it to actually be identified within this PowerLink database. So it usually takes a minute or 2 for this to work. You may hear a beep coming from the box itself. Usually that's a good sign. It means that it's detected and it's going to be added. So we'll wait for this to be finished here. Okay, so once it's finished, all of these green check marks will appear here, and it won't give you an error. Usually if it fails, then it'll give you an error on screen here. So everything was successful with this, so I can click on close. And now that I have my device added, so you can see here the address shows up here, and the type of box it is shows up there. You can give it a name. So again, I'm going to call this one my key light because it's my main light in the room. So I'll just type in key light, and then I'm good to go. So I can just click on this red box up here. And now my key light is added into my devices list. So you're going to want to do that for all of the other lights that you have within your room. So you can see here that I have multiple lights. So I have a fill light, a backlight, and a green screen, or 2 green screen lights. So I've added those the same way that I just did for the key light. If you want to test to make sure that each one individually works, if you select one in this list and come down here and select turn on, that's going to turn the light on in the room, and if it's connected properly, then it should turn on that light. And then to turn it off, you just click turn off.